Hello, Capricorn. How are you? All right, so this is your reading for the month of November. We are asking what wants to come through for Capricorn. What's important for Capricorn to know this month? What is important for Capricorn to know this month? Okay. What wants to come through for Capricorn? Let's see what we got here. We have the Four of Cups, the Moon, the Eight of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. Very interesting. So there's no fives here, but I feel like this is a very transitional energy. Yeah, I feel like you're going through some kind of transition here. Okay, let's get into it. Four of Cups. Four of Cups is typically kind of an energy of apathy. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's very interesting because this is symbolically, I feel like it's a very different imagery than in the Rider-Waite deck. In the Rider-Waite deck, there's four cups. There's a man sitting under a tree. There's four cups. Three of them are on the ground. He's looking at those three cups intently. And then there's one more cup coming out of the sky, a hand coming out of the clouds, out of the sky, holding this cup and offering it to that man. But he's not looking at it. So, you know, anytime like the hands come out of the sky, it does represent opportunity. So, but here, instead, this cat is knocking over one of the cups. And it's funny because he has this smile on his face too. So he doesn't feel particularly apathetic. He feels more playful. But I just got the sense of like, you know how when you're going through something and it's like so ridiculously, it's just so ridiculous. Like you've like, you know, say for example, you wake up in the morning and you go out to start your car and it won't start. So you're trying, you realize your battery is dead. Okay, so you get someone to jump you, charge the battery, great, car starts. You start to pull out and drive away and you realize, oh my God, I have a flat tire, right? And then like, okay, you go and get the tire fixed and, you know, blah, blah, blah. You do all these things. Finally, you're on your way. Say you're going to your, you know, doctor's appointment and you get there and it's canceled, right? And it's like just all of these things kind of like one after the other. It's so ridiculous that you just gotta kind of like laugh at it. Like you cannot even be mad at it because it's just like this ridiculous day where like nothing seems to you know, go right. Like the only thing you can really do is just laugh at it because if you let each of those things like really like hold you down, you know, you're just gonna make yourself miserable. And so you're just kind of like, you know, it is, I guess it is sort of like apathetic, right? You're like, you know, you're not really, it's neither here nor there, but you're making a choice to kind of like laugh at it and just kind of just make a big joke out of it, or just kind of like take it with a smile, you know? It's not the easiest energy, but you're just gonna grin and bear it. That's what it kind of feels like here with this Four of Cups. Okay, and then we have the Moon. You know, the Moon is about the subconscious, the hidden, the dark, the shadow. And so, you know, I'm kind of getting the feeling that it may have been, I feel like you're almost like surprising yourself by how well you're dealing with like this adversity that is coming your way. It's like you're surprised at like how your normal reactions are not coming forward, where, you know, like where you might normally get upset about something and like, you know, lose your shit or whatever it is, like you're just kind of like laughing it off. And you know, and it's very different from your normal responses. That's what it feels like. And you're kind of surprised by it because it's a good thing. Like it's almost like this emotional maturity that you're recognizing in yourself, where you don't have to be so reactive. You know, you can take things with a grain of salt, you can grin and move on. And I think that's a really good thing. And I do feel like it is related to like looking at previous patterns and how, you know, having reactions rather than responses has kind of like not put you in the best places. In fact, it's almost as if something like you come across some kind of adversity, and then your reaction to it is so severe that your reaction actually makes the situation worse. Okay, but it feels like you're not doing that anymore. It feels like you've gained some emotional maturity. You've gained some ability to respond to things rather than react to them, and that's a really great thing. And the reason why I feel that is because the Eight of Cups is about, you know, walking away from something, leaving something behind. And I do feel like here it's a recognition of certain patterns that are really not beneficial to you. Like you're really recognizing like, oh, every time I, you know, get upset about something, I fly off the handle and start yelling at everybody, right? For example, okay? And now there's this recognition of how when I do that, now I'm not the only one who's upset. Everybody else is upset too because I've just yelled these horrible things to them that probably were like very much based in anger and not even true. And then it's just like this big mess, right? So now you have the thing you were upset about, but then you also have all of these other things that kind of like, you know, the chain reaction, and you're recognizing that those patterns don't work for you anymore. Okay. And I'm not saying that this is particular for you, like that you can't control your anger or anything like that, but this is, you know, this is general, right? So what in your life exists as a pattern that is not healthy for you? What patterns do you have that you engage in, that you act, it's automatic programming, right? It's automatic. You're not thinking about it. It's something that just comes automatic. What is that pattern? What is that subconscious pattern that actually is more harmful than beneficial for you? That's what this reading is asking you to take a look at, because it's time to let that pattern go. Yeah. So the Eight of Cups, there's like this one thing missing here. And I get the feeling like if some of these patterns that you've been engaging in are not reprogrammed, right, to be something, be a healthier pattern, I feel like this missing cup is, you know, going to spread to these other cups, and these other cups are going to go missing too. So it's not necessarily that this cat in here is feeling like he's missing something, but it's almost like these cups are wanting to book it out, right? They're wanting to leave because they don't want to be part of that whatever that automatic programming you're in is, and they're gonna bail. Okay, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean that I kind of feel like this, you know, Nine of Pentacles is kind of like this card of independence, right? And it's, or, you know, so independence can mean a lot of things. It can mean being alone. It can mean solo. It can mean individual. It can mean like just like all of these different meanings of singleness, basically, right? So I am feeling, okay, that this is you are in an energy of recognizing some of these unhealthy programs that you're in, right? And these programs are, they are your subconscious programming. They are things that need to be brought to light, that you need to become aware of so that you can change them. And I feel like that's what's happening for you this month of November, is you're becoming aware of those programs that are not healthy, that kind of like maybe push people away and keep you alone. And so what you're doing here is you're changing them. You're learning to change them. And that's a really, really good thing. This, I just had another example of how this energy here could play out. And it's kind of like, so a lot of times when we have this subconscious fear of abandonment, or almost like this memory of abandonment, right? So say, you know, a parent left at a young age, or, you know, or you had to go and live with somebody else or something. Or you had, you know, a father who, you know, you knew of him and you saw him once in a while, but like he treated your siblings, you know, better, and you felt abandoned, right? You felt abandoned by that. And so if you are not aware of that patterning, what happens is that you kind of, you know, especially at a young age, and if you don't have anybody like helping you process those things, you start to kind of build up this pattern of, oh, people leave, people abandon me. And then when you get into relationships, you're carrying this belief of, people leave me. And what you do then is, because it's a belief, it starts to become your reality. You're subconsciously creating these events where people start to leave you. And then you see, I knew it. People always leave me. People abandon me, right? And so I'm kind of getting that off of this too. And that, but this is the important thing. This is like the recognition of those things. Yeah. It's like you're changing that. And that's really great. So again, like, I just, you know, I'd really like you to take a look at like, what are the patterns in your life that are not working for you, are not healthy, are possibly pushing people away. And like, you know, the first thing is to be conscious of those things and to look at them. And so, like, you know, if you find yourself in that situation where something like that seems to be happening, to really be able to like take a step back, take a look at it, and ask yourself, like, what am I doing here? Like, what am I, you know, what are my behaviors that are, you know, coming about, that are like, you know, making this subconscious patterning, you know, come to light, right? Okay. So this is this is deep work you're doing. This is like, yeah. Sorry, Sag, but this is some intense work that you're doing. This is what we would call shadow work. But when you make it through this, you're like, shadow work is about coming into the light. It is about expanding your consciousness, enlightening, right? You're lightening up your awareness. And so this is good stuff here. It may not always feel like it, but when you you know, say like abandonment is your issue, and you're able to recognize that patterning, when you work through that, guess what happens? You don't have people, you don't create situations where you feel abandoned. People don't leave, you know. You have deeper, more meaningful connections. So this is good, important work that you are doing here. I just had this recognition of like, there's moon. So even though this particular card, the Nine of Pentacles, is a card of sunshine, it's yellow in the background, there's still a moon there. So I really find that interesting. Definitely shadow work that you're doing this month. So wishing you all the best. You're going to make it through it, and you're going to like be victorious over this. And yeah, congratulations on working through the dark and coming into the light. It's awesome. All right. Love you, Sag. Sorry, Capricorn. Love you, Capricorn. Bye.